Oh yeah. Solutionaries, welcome to the Maj Toure show. Y'all know the routine. It's a little early, a couple of seconds early. Protocol, what's up? Peace. T. T says if I need any modules, if I think that's what you're saying, I'm interested. What's up? Y'all know how it go. Come on in, hit that like button, whatever platform you're watching on. If you're watching on Facebook, copy that link and share it. Y'all know meta platforms are super suppressed, and there's a bunch of boomers over there, so we need the support. If you're watching on X, just do a little quick quote post. Let everybody know that you're tapping in. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Today, guys, we posted our 1,000th video today. I have not been as solid on YouTube as I have been with Instagram and X because I just like those. Got kicked off for X, got back, and we back at it. So X, if you're watching this, quote, post it, share the space all over the place. As our good brothers over at First Form Nutrition for the show Real AF with Andy and DJ. As they say, don't be a hoe, share the show. Sidebar, real quick, guys. If you guys are into health and fitness, you should be. And if you need some solid supplements, shoot me a DM on whatever platform you're watching on. I'll make sure I get you a link. Big Rob is in the spot from Jersey. Coach Frank from Indianapolis. What's up? 75 folks watching. Let's get the likes up if you're watching on YouTube. We're going to talk about this tonight. Now, there's a consistent theme that's been floating around the internet for some years since I've been on the internet. And since I started speaking for some time, as the hashtag used to be on my old X was, Maj is mostly right. I don't know how far some of y'all go back on my pages. But Maj is mostly right. It's a joke that we all now start to say. And because, some of my perspective politically, most of it's on the right. But I'm more of a balanced person. And a lot of times when I start talking about shit, it turns out to be right. Not because I'm a genius, but because I pay attention to the pattern, I pay attention to history, I pay attention to the media, the government, and more oftentimes than not, because I err on the side of liberty, Maj is mostly right. And it seems like over the last week or so, we've been having this weird race-based conversation shaped for us around this Carmelo Anthony stabbing and Austin Metcalf death. Okay? So we're going to not touch on that per se, but we're going to talk about what these pundits have been doing and how they've been lying. And early on, a day into finding out about this case, I was like, damn, there's a lot of bots jumping out there saying the same thing. And a lot of them were bots. Okay? And this bot conversation started to spill into, I noticed some more right-leaning so-called conservative pundits started to repeat some of that same thing. So I started thinking back. I started going, damn, a few months ago, all of the right-leaning pundits switched from not wanting electric cars to wanting electric cars. I watched how some of the right-leaning pundits talked about they were going to, the FBI is now cool since Cash Patel is in charge. And I was a fan of Cash Patel. Then Dan Bongino got in on second in command over there. Then the talk was Trump going to get rid of taxes, and everybody seemed to get right. And I just kept remembering all of these more right of center pundits seem to jump right in on the same talking points. Then I went back and said, well, damn, that feels a whole hell of a lot like what the left does. The left will get a talking point, and if you look across social media, damn near copy and paste, damn near word for word, they'll be saying the same thing, damn near in unison. And I wanted to go, nah, not the pundits. I disagree with a lot of these guys, but they can't be doing the same exact shit. And then I looked a little bit longer, and I watched them all do the same exact thing. And fast forward to this Carmelo Anthony stabbing, and again, huge shouts and blessings to the Austin Metcalf's family. He is deceased. Carmelo Anthony will have his trial, and it'll be what it is. Now, when this all started, I said, wait a minute. Where's this got to be video footage? Wait a minute. There's got to be this. And there was too many things that were missing. And then a day or so later, the police report came out. And when that police report came out, I said, okay, let's read the police report. It was a eerily, copied and pasted, or excuse me, a screen like grab of the actual report. And I read all of the, I want to say maybe 5 or 6 pages. And the conversation shifted again. It heightened up. And I started to notice not only were the bots and the pundits like making this out to be a tragedy, which it is. It was a tragedy. And it was a 2 teenagers fighting, and one of them's gone now. But the scary thing for me was the speed and veracity with the race-based narrative that showed up from the pundits on the right. So some of y'all that watch the show every night, the Maj Toure show, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, y'all started to see me talk more about this, but not from a perspective of like victim, like, oh, he had a rough childhood, so that's why he stabbed the kid. No. It was me talking more about like, damn, I'm noticing this thing and it's coming off real fucked up. And then I started seeing some of the more popular pundits echo these same sentiments that the bots were saying. They made it real race-based. They weren't as racist or racial in their slurs. They weren't. But the overall tone was exactly the same. And I started to go, this feeling like Saya. That's what I said to myself. I said, but let's hold out and let's wait a little bit as more information comes out. Fast forward. Because this, mind you, this is only about a week or so now. This situation happened, I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago. That's for, all intents and purposes, let's say 2 weeks. And then when that happens, I then go, now it's full blown. It's the blacks. You blacks are savages. And the so-called conservative pundits damn near co-signing it. And I went, oh, this has all of the makings of a media spin. Most effective devil in America. See, I learned that lesson and I applied that lesson as any narrative comes out from the left or the right. The Matrix will use either side to get its agenda off. As we all know, if you're a solutionary, you know this. But there are so many people that are not solutionaries that got a microphone, that got a big following. And my thought then went to, are they making this about race to get the Elon bucks to rally up their low IQ, low information voting base? Because it's still their base. Are they doing that for that? Or is it more nefarious? Is it something highly organized, a highly organized phenomenon to push this race bait thing? And it started to feel to me like the George Floyd conversation, but just on the right. The hatred started to feel what I can understand what was the going on with the O.J. Simpson trial. It started to feel like that. It felt like the white people feel attacked. And I just started to see all of the goodwill that the Trump campaign got into the black community, Latin community. I'm watching that fucking crumble. And I'm still going, pushing back against it. Hey, let's be unified, da-da-da-da-da. And then over the last week, man, it just went all the way fucking left. The racism, the bigotry. I done been called the N-word more times than I can count. They act like, the pundits and the bots act like they NWA album. And so I'm looking at this and I'm going, damn. And then over the last few days, we get another narrative, because I'm trying to push back against this narrative. I'm going, hey, this is a messed up situation. This is messed up. I actually advocated and told people to donate to the Austin Metcalf family's fundraiser. I said that because their family's dealing with death. And I was very meticulous and tactical about this. I didn't throw this young man under the bus. He got arrested. I didn't say, because I don't know the facts. None of us do. None of us got the video footage yet. Allegedly, the police took the cameras and the footage and the phones for people that got the footage, all of that. And as pushing back against this and thinking that, dents were being made, they hit them with another one. They went, oh, the fundraising happened. And they petitioned to get the GoFundMe page, because originally it was on GoFundMe. They petitioned to get that page off. And GoFundMe, who has not been a trusted source of fundraising platforms for people, if you break the narrative, GoFundMe gonna say you can't fundraise over here. And they're a private business. They can do that. So then they switched over to the family, switched over to GiveSendGo. And all of the, not all, but a lot of conservative pundits that I've had my suspicions about for some time. They have an authoritarian lean. They just want a right flavored color, flavor of boot from the state. They all jumped out there and they said, "Oh man, look at this kid. He's the black community is celebrating and rewarding this kid for killing a white kid." They ignored the father's request. The deceased Austin Metcalf's father got on television and said, I'm a religious man. This was not about race. I see people doing that. Please don't do that. Don't speak for us that way. This was not about race." And those pundits didn't respect that father of the deceased, of his deceased son. They didn't respect his wishes. They jumped out there and went further on the race, further on the race, further on the race. And over the last few days, because they kept making it about race, more people donated to Carmelo Anthony's legal defense fund. And as they continued to do that, more and more money came. He gets initially a bond of $1 million. And they say, we can't afford $1 million. So they hold out and they get a bail reduction hearing. They get the bail reduction hearing, and the judge listens to both parties. And all that the prosecution presents was the original officer's testimony. And the defense is saying, we want a $150,000 bail. This is high. The average is, $250,000. We're asking for a $150,000 bail. We're going to give him an ankle monitor. He's going to be on house arrest. And the judge says, you know what? I'm listening to everybody. Judge says, I'm listening to everybody's perspective. I'm going to give him a quarter. I'm not going to give it to y'all for $150. I'm going to give it to y'all for $250. He bails out, and the funds keep coming in because the right-wing pundits continue to make this about race. The same people that said they don't believe in race, why is the left leaning on race? They made it completely about race, and it was a disgusting display. Now, this is the build up into tonight's conversation. So over the last few days, they say Carmelo Anthony, they said it was him, even though he's 17 years old. They say Carmelo Anthony and his family bought a mansion, bought a new 3 cars. They bought this, they bought that, all with the GiveSendGo money. Mind you, this is after they attempted to practice cancel culture on GiveSendGo. I know Jacob, the founder of GiveSendGo. Great team over there. We fundraise with GiveSendGo. And I texted him just to give him some encouragement because I see the rock in the hard place. And I didn't tell him to do anything. He decided, that team, I have no influence over that. Their team decided to say, we're going to be balanced. We fundraised for Derek Chauvin. We fundraised for Kyle Rittenhouse. We fundraised for other people that some people said you shouldn't do that. The left said you shouldn't do that. Okay? Mind you, GiveSendGo took the Kyle Rittenhouse, Derek Chauvin, kicked them off of their platform. GiveSendGo gives them the platform, and now the right starts to can't say, oh, they got to get rid of GiveSendGo because they harboring this kid, this killer, this that. They practice cancel culture. GiveSendGo stands tall, and now they start with this argument that he is spending the money. They spent the money on a house. They spent the money on this. And I want to show y'all something and how far this has went. How far this has went. This is from and this was yesterday, the Times of India, the country across the pond, India. This was yesterday, and this was all over social media. I'm going to read this one first to bring y'all up to speed on today's events. But they went all the way to India with this. Red dot Indians, not indigenous Indians, not indigenous to America, not Choctaw, not Cherokee, not Iroquois, not Pawnee, Okay? They went all the way to Red Dot, India with the lie. And here was what the lie was. Family of Texas murder accused Carmelo Anthony moving to a new house with fundraiser money. The family of 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, who allegedly stabbed Austin Metcalf to death in an act of self-defense at a track event, are planning to move out to a new home with the money that has been raised for Carmelo's legal fight. Karmelo walked out of jail after a judge on Monday lowered his bond from $1 million to $250,000. He's been charged with first-degree murder after he stabbed a knife in the heart, as if he knew where the heart was, of Austin Metcalf, who died in the arms of his twin brother in a most shocking murder. Now, I'm going to stop there for a second. This was India yesterday. And the last 2 days, all of the social media pundits said all of this shit about, yeah, he's doing this. He's made the money. They family is buying Cadillacs, them Jordans, and they said all of the racial slurs. They're going to get the watermelons. Mind you, as I asked people to be objective about it, as the father of Austin asked the people to be objective about it, when that happened, if y'all follow me on X, I've been posting them. We've been turning a hate into donations for our conflict resolution work. Okay? Because I'm not going to let these people push this race-based narrative trying to divide Americans. And I know they hate when you turn their negatives. That's what devils hate. Devils hate when you turn them negatives into positives. They hate it. They try to break you with the negative thing. So we fundraised for Austin Metcalf. We pushed everybody to go donate there. We maintained a sense of objectivity. They hit us with the hate. They lied. And in the middle of all of this lying, and me getting called all of the slurs in the world, and other people that was like, yo, that didn't even, because I haven't taken a side. I just said, support the family that is facing death. And if you choose to support both of them, because 2 young people are impacted for this forever. Those families are impacted forever. So in the middle of all of that, it takes TMZ. Now, mind you, I knew this because I had already spoke to Jacob, the founder of Give, Send, Go. I interviewed Jacob last summer, about something that had nothing to do with this. I like his principled approach. We are a Christian, faith-based platform that will fundraise for all causes. They don't even take a cut, because then the argument was, oh, they're taking a cut. Give, Send, Go doesn't take a cut. You can donate extra if you choose to Give, Send, Go. So the right asked for cancel culture. That didn't work. The right said he didn't deserve a bond, which the average for a murder charge is $250,000. They didn't like the judge lowering it to the average of $250,000, $100,000 more than what the defense asked for. Then they started doxing and threatening the judge. The same right that was making fun of the so-called tolerant left. It's all documented. It's not Maj making this up. But this whole time I've said, they lying. Not only do I know that they don't know what they're talking about him spending the money, and it's the timelines didn't add up. The numbers didn't add up. But on top of that, the whole time I was like, nah, I'm going to stand firm on what I know. We're on Give, Send, Go, have been for some years. I said that, and I got called every name in the book. And I watched all of these conservative pundits up until yesterday and the day before yesterday start this lie that he's spending the money, and mind you, he's 17, so he can't. Let me read a little bit more of this one first. That he's spending the money on Cadillacs and Jordans and chicken. Okay? Let's read. Karmelo walked out of jail after a judge on Monday lowered his bond from $1 million to $250,000. Anthony was charged with first-degree murder after he stabbed yada yada yada. Anthony and Metcalf did not know each other, and there's rumors that they did, but nonetheless, they first met at the track event, and an altercation started after Austin Metcalf, accompanied by his brother, told Karmelo to move as he was in the wrong spot. Karmelo said Metcalf pushed him. Fast forward, y'all already know all of that. Over $420,000, this is as of yesterday, has been donated to Anthony's family in an online fundraiser after he faced racist threats from Metcalf's murder. Prosecutors, let me stop there for a second. See, You racists jumped out there and threatened him and didn't let the process work out. And this actually started to work in his family's favor. Prosecutors asked Anthony's dad why he could not use the donated money to pay the original bond to release his son. His father, Andrew Anthony, said the money was also going to be used for Anthony's security, and also the family was planning to move into a new house for extra safety. That's what he said. But what they don't say here is the father also said, I don't have access to the money. That part, I'm not sure that that's in this actual story. Quote, this family needs to be able to survive. Defense attorney Mike Howard said, there's been a tremendous amount of pressure. I think at this point, living in a gated community, given everything, the safety of their younger children is very warranted. Security details and criminal defense are not cheap. Now, that was yesterday. They left that out. That's India. I'm expecting the people in India that ain't in America to leave out some of the details and make a mistake. And they did. They left out the other part of the story where the dad says, we do not have access to that money. And then right after that, the stories start breaking when he get out and they start going, he's spending the money and he moved into this and that. And they used all of these photos and said, look at this gated community in Frisco. The problem was that was the house that they had rented and lived in since 2023. They went so far as cropping the picture of the mother smiling in front of the car in the house. They cropped out the date that she put it on social media, thanking her husband for getting her that home and Cadillac. They cropped that and made it look like she was celebrating that they just bought the house. What my shirt say, y'all? Most media, most effective devil in America. The devil loves to stir up trouble. The devil loves to make chaos. And these pundits that I thought, at least with a somewhat level head, I thought they would wait for the facts. But they all jumped out there and they said he's buying Jordans and chicken and that. Y'all, if y'all follow me on social media, Facebook, y'all can look at it on my page. They called me the N-word, this, that. They said everything in the world because I said that don't make sense. And look at this picture right there up top. It says 2023. The mother said it. Fortunately, she put the date in the caption that she made on top. It said, all blessings for 2023. Huge shouts to my best friend of 17 years, my loving husband that got this. And that was 2023. They cropped it out. They put it up there and they said, yeah, he buying a new house. He doing all of this. They said all of this. All of these people jumped out there. Let me go back because I want to show y'all some of the people that said this silly shit. I want to show y'all. And then we're going to get into it. I want to show y'all. Listen to the goofballs. Colin Rugg. This was yesterday. Oh, I think this was yesterday, or maybe the day before. April the 15th. This was yesterday. Carmelo Anthony's family is using the over $400,000 raised on Give Send Go to move into a new home, according to the Sun. Remarkable. Anthony stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf in the heart, which is being praised by many throughout the country. Now, Anthony's using funds. Hold up. Let me make sure because I can't. Let me see. Make sure I get it right. Anthony's using funds. Where is it at? From all of his fans to move into a new home in a gated community. That's what they said. That's what they said, and that's what they put up there. Okay? That's what these people said. Let's go down a little bit more. Matt Walsh. There is no hope of improving race relations. He quote posts this. There is no hope of improving race relations in this country as long as a black murderer can be rewarded with $500,000 and a new home for stabbing a white kid to death. They pushed this race narrative. That's what they all did. That's what they all did. And then TMZ sat down with the founder of Give Send Go, Jacob Wells, and he unequivocally confirmed that the family has not used that money. We ain't even going to talk about the fact that the pictures that they using were deliberately spun out of context. We ain't going to talk about the lie that they did. They lied. They either lied or they put something out there that was false. They was dumb or they were deceptive. One or the other. But we ain't going to talk about that picture in the house. We ain't gonna talk about none of that yet. They just said that he spent the moolah and this and that and boop, 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 boop. Let's read it. Carmelo Anthony not using moolah from Fundraiser. In a day where TMZ has more journalistic rapport and integrity than so-called right of center pundits, we in a sad day. Even after the teen satisfies the $250,000 bail, okay? Carmelo Anthony has not withdrawn funds from his nearly $450,000 GiveSendGo fundraiser after he walked free from the slammer on a $250,000 bond. Jacob Wells, co-founder of the popular crowdsourcing platform, tells TMZ no funds have been distributed, as the company receives clarity from the campaign recipient on use of funds so that the people that have given can be confident in how their donation is being used. The revelation comes while folks question how Anthony satisfied his $250,000 bond, which a judge reduced from $1 million, and how his family's covering the legal costs as the 17-year-old faces first-degree murder charges. All while allegedly, see, this is how media do. See, the pundits said, as reported by The Sun. They trying to boost the narrative, get the clickbait without getting sued, because they say, oh, we was reporting what The Sun said. That's not journalistic integrity. Because anybody with half a brain will be able to go, wait a minute, this happened too fast. Anybody that bought a house before know you can't buy a house in under a week. But they didn't stop to think about that, or they did stop and think about it. They just said, fuck it. We're going to say the Sun, the Arizona Sun said this. So again, and then the other phrase is, while allegedly. This number of $900,000 rental also at one point said $800,000. So they lied. Wells further clarifies to TMZ campaign recipients are usually able to withdraw a donation 72 hours after a donation is made, either in full or a specific amount. However, he said there are certain scenarios in which a hold can be placed on a campaign to ensure proper verification in terms of service alignment, for example. He also said there's a chance a small reserve could be withheld to cover potential chargebacks and refunds, which sometimes happens in high-profile campaigns. He further notes 100% of the money raised goes to the recipient, and that GiveSendGo does not skim from campaigns. Rather, those donating are allowed to make a gift to the site to ensure it remains free for all. So these people when they got mad that they couldn't bully or practice cancel culture on GiveSendGo, they went to say Jacob and them getting rich. Jacob said, no, we don't even take any money off of that. People can donate if they choose to our work. And I know that to be true. We are on GiveSendGo with our work. We are crowdfunded voluntarily. So they couldn't get, after they got him canceled off for GoFundMe, they couldn't get GiveSendGo to do it. Then they started attacking GiveSendGo. GiveSendGo got their terms and conditions. They got right to TMZ and said, that's not what happened. And that's not true. After a week of all of these people saying, or a few days, let's say 3 days, give or take, of these people saying, yeah, they did this, that, and the third, and they Jordans and every racist trope in the book. They made it all 1,000% about race. All day long. And what were their sources? Some shit from India and some shit from the New York Post. That's what these pundits did. That's what they did. Let's read a little bit more. And to those offended that GiveSendGo chooses to be involved with someone charged with murder, Wells tells TMZ it's not up to the company to decide Anthony's guilt or innocence, and that his case needs to be adjudicated in the court of law. GiveSendGo has allowed fundraisers from all views of the political and ideological spectrum, including campaigns for highly polarizing characters such as Luigi Mangione. Luigi clearly shot the insurance dude in the head. He killed him on video. He raised $1 million. GiveSendGo said, if they want to. Kyle Rittenhouse and Derek Chauvin, all with the belief that justice will be served inside the courtroom. TMZ reached out to Anthony's lawyer, Michael Howard, regarding the weight on his funds, So far, no word back. So now they're going to say, oh, well, the lawyer probably got the money. And the founder of Give, Send, Go says they haven't taken this money. We hold some in reserve. But your pundits jumped out there, the same pundits that talk about it ain't about race, jumped out there and made it 1,000% about race. And it's disgusting. Has been some of the most disgusting, disrespectful, cowardly, faux journalism I ever seen in my life. And I'm ashamed at most of these pundits on the right. I'm ashamed at them. I'm ashamed. They're disgusting. Let's look at a little bit more of this. Let's look at what happened. Let's look at the people that did it. Let's look. Libs of TikTok. This was the New York Post article that they ran with. Guys, if you in the chat, hit the like button. The likes is free, y'all. The likes is free. I want to hear some smoke in the comment section. Austin. What's up, Austin, with the $10 super chat? The Give, Send, Go says the funds will be received by Kayla Hayes. Okay, that's new information. I didn't know that. That's breaking, y'all. I didn't know that. Give, Send, Go says the funds will be received by Kayla Hayes. I don't even know who Kayla Hayes is. Okay? Peely says, why are people so concerned with how his family got the money to bail him out? Now, that's the other part of this argument. They was mad that they didn't use it for bond. It's a legal defense fund. It's not a bond fund. And when the bond got dropped to $250,000, that means he got to come up with $25,000. And somebody else posted the bond. But instead of that, instead of knowing that system, your pundits, and I say your because I'm right of center, our pundits jumped out there and looked exactly like the left. Because they ran with stories like this. They jumped right on it. New York Post, which potentially should get sued. Carmelo Anthony renting $900,000 home in gated community with family, bought new car after release on bond in Austin Metcalf murder case. Again, let's go back, guys. Let's use logic here. When you doing a closing, let's do simple math. Let's say if he got a bond for $250,000 on April the 1st. It's not the exact date, but let's just go with math to make it simple. Let's say it happened on the 1st. And let's say on the 1st, he already had $450,000, right? One story says they bought a house. The other story said they're renting a house. We all just going to, for the moment, ignore the fact that the family already lived in a gated community in Frisco. Frisco is not a broke part of town. It's not. We're going to ignore that photo of the mom saying, thank you to my hubby in 2023. We're going to ignore that for a moment. So let's say he got the $450,000 and the bail reduction on April the 1st. Let's say that, just for math. Or let's say April the 5th. If you got that and you bonded out that day, and you got that money that week, and you got that $450, how within a few days did you buy a house? The fastest I've ever seen it done in all cash to buy a house is 30 days. Maybe 2 weeks. Maybe 2 weeks if everybody been plotting and they came back and whatever, and all parties is at the table and they really trying to push to get the deal. Because when you buy a house, the money touch 11 hands, 10, 11 hands. So in one argument, they say they bought the house. First, they say he bought the house. He's 17. So they say he bought the house. Then they say it's renting the house. Okay? They conveniently ignore the fact that the family said we may have to move for security reasons because they're getting death threats. The judge, again, the judge that issued the bail reduction, they started threatening her and doxing her. She had to get security. Okay? So libs of TikTok jumped out there with this and said that this as if it was true. And they listen, after raising nearly $500K, Carmelo Anthony's family moved into a $900,000 home and he got a brand new car. This is a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's like, damn, y'all. Damn. Y'all not even doing no type of math. No math whatsoever. Okay? Let's go to some nudies comments. We got Austin again. It also says created by the Anthony family. Yeah, but again, Because that's a legitimate argument. The legitimate argument could be the Metcalf family created it and the funds go to them. Until the founder of Give Send Go puts his reputation on the line and goes on TMZ and says they don't got the money. And we hold some even if we would have set it out. That's what happens. But let's look at a little bit more. Let's look at more. Let's look. Robbie Starbuck. Listen to this. And again, me and Robbie used to follow each other on X before I got kicked off of X. And I'm kind of glad. And seeing this, I'm glad that I was at 100,000 or however many X followers. I don't know. Now I'm at 40, whatever. If you're watching this on one of the other platforms, follow me on X. Maj2Ray999. Okay? So I'm happy that some of these people, we're not in the same sphere right now, because this is showing me a lot about them. Not even that, like, I'm calling all of these people racist. I think Matt Walsh is a bigot. I think some of these people are playing to the bigots in their base for absolutely sure. But I don't get that vibe from Robbie Starbuck. But even he said, the Anthony family is going to milk this for all it's worth while trying to make Karmelo an OJ-like figure in hopes that it can taint the jury pool. Truly evil stuff. Trying to use a murder to gain celebrity is sick. Has Austin Metcalf even been buried yet? As if bonding out and getting security and not touching any of the money, as if that's evil. These are the same type of narratives that the left uses. And they basing this all off of a New York Post legacy media article that cites no sources. They in there saying one of the neighbors said that's their new car. Source, we heard a neighbor said. Didn't confirm, no license. Look, that one got what paper plates on it. That means it's 30 days old. You don't know whose fucking car it is. 5 to 7 people showed up to get him out of jail. And they had to block him from media. So in the middle of all of that, you don't know whose car it is. You don't know who's around for security. They confirmed none of this story. And these guys ran with it. They ran with it. Who else? Rob Smith, meat gobbler. Meat gobbler. Carmelo, and I checked him today on X. He might say something back, he might not. Carmelo Anthony, the scammer and murderer, renting a $900,000 home in a gated community, bought 3 cars. Now the number done jumped up to 3. 3 cars, chicken, watermelon, grape soda. I heard all of this shit. 3 cars. Is still raising money off of Austin Metcalf's murder from delusional blacks. Insane. See, this so-called conservative space, their thing is to say things that because they exist, racists exist, right? Maybe not as prevalent as media tries to make them be, but they pander to those types of racists so they can say the shit and say, it's not racist, the black guy said it. We all know that play. And so that's what they do. The scammer and murderer renting a $900K home in a gated community, bought 3 cars, is still fundraising money off Austin Metcalf's murder from delusional blacks. See that in the screen? Y'all might not be able to see that, but it says Carmelo Anthony living family, da-da-da-da. That's from that same New York Post article. They got pictures of the house that they lived in for years, acting as if it's a new house. And they all ran with this media story. These are the same conservatives that say legacy media is trash, that are now quoting legacy media as their source. And then when I went back and forth with what's his name, Rob Smith, because Rob Smith tried to get at me in this back and forth, because I commented under there. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what I said and what he said. Okay, let me pull it up real quick. Guys, if you in the chat, hit the like button. The like button don't cost y'all nothing. Don't cost y'all nothing to hit the like button. Okay? So, here is what Rob Smith said about it. I ain't going to play his whole video because I think he a fucking clown. This is the video with a screenshot that I just showed y'all. He said that, and this is what I said under it, y'all. Check this out. House and car were both bought in 2023. Here's the photo from the social media post the mom made on that day. Y'all just say anything on these apps for clout. Fuck integrity, I suppose. Let me see if I can hit the picture so y'all can see that. All right, look. At the top of this right here, right? Y'all might not be able to see it too good. At the top in white, it says, right where I'm putting it, it says manifesting God's promises all 2023. Thanks to my husband, my best friend of 17 years. I love you, baby. Drew Anthony. Drew Anthony. Look at my new ride. This is her posing in front of the house and the car in 2023. But did these integrity having people show that part? Nope. They cropped that part out. I'll put that there. Under there. Then Rob says, as you would see if you actually read the New York Post and Daily Mail. So now they're quoting the Daily Mail and the New York Post. Leftist rags. Leftist rags. And this is a quote post to my response. The 900K home is a new rental in a gated community. One newer car has 30-day temp tags. That's why I work in journalism media and you do whatever it is you do. Talking about me, the work that we actually do, that I openly say, hey guys, we need funding. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Support the work. Y'all have seen me for years. Firearms classes, solutionary summits, buying our building, paying to rent at the building. You've seen it. You've seen me engage with these young people in states all across the country and including our location. But now all of a sudden he want to say, oh, whatever it is you do. So what did I say to Rob? Rob, this is me right here. Rob, you the same meat gobbler that said Trump wouldn't get major support in the black community. You were wrong about that, and you're now wrong about this. Bad journalism that you're now trying to defend. You and your whole tribe been clowns. Been clowns. These people, they're not trying to unify America. If you're watching the show right now, you more than likely, if you're watching the Maj Toure show, you trying to heal and unify America. This is a psyop, and I don't even like using that phrase that often. But this fits. When I thought about it a week or two ago, I'm like, God damn, all of these bots at the same time, all of the pundits at the same time. Just like all of the pundits right now is about to say electric cars. They NPCs just like the left now. Electric cars. We need real ID. Da-da-da-da-da. Same thing. Never mind that Ron Paul and Thomas Massey was like, we're not doing this real ID shit. These people aren't trying to unify America. This is why it's important for us to have these conversations on the show. Because I'm going to lay it out for y'all. I'm going to be objective. I don't want to do this, just say stuff to my base is freedom-loving Americans. That's my base. If you a person that's going to get up there, you black, you white, you Spanish, you Asian, I don't give a fuck. If you giving up there just trying to ignore the Constitution, because some of these people are saying he shouldn't get a bail. He shouldn't have a legal defense. Huh? Wait a minute. We not doing the Constitution now? I thought we was doing the Constitution. I thought only the left was saying fuck the Constitution. If you're watching this show right now, you are the resistance. You're the resistance from the left and the right. Especially these pundits. They have no skin in the game. Tell me, I want somebody to tell me in the chat. Tell me the work that these people do in the community. Tell me the work that they do. I really want y'all to tell me. Like I'm gonna get in the chat because I'm juggling a little bit. Okay. Bookworm says these people think all black folks are poor. They're right in line with the poor kids is just as bright as white kids. Joe Biden energy, 100%. Listen to this. T. Williams. Trump campaigned against electric vehicles. Now he's sucking Tesla and Elon's. Yeah, I mean. Jeffrey. I agree. All speaking the same talking points. I'm not. Listen. Listen. I'm trying to tell y'all what's real out here. I might not have the same big following that I used to have because I keep getting kicked off of not anymore. I was kicked off of Instagram 3 times. Just got really serious about YouTube for real. Okay? Got back on the X page and I'm at 46, 47,000 followers. So I ain't at the 100,000, like 200, 300,000 like I was. I might not have the same big following, but what y'all are forever going to get from me is honesty, truth, and consistency. That's what y'all going to get from me. All the time. I don't care to be a part of these fucking people's cliques. See, they do this because they all want to go to the already burned down the stage at CPAC. And I'm not saying all of the people at CPAC are like this, or all of the people that I'll burn down the stage at Young Americans for Liberty. I'll burn down the stage. Catch me in Freedom Fest, burning down the stage this summer in Cali. Y'all know what I do when I get on the stage. It ain't about that. The American people need balance, need the Constitution, need limited government. These people are kowtowing for the Elon bucks. Austin with the $10 super chat says the thing is, left and the right, independent media think they different from legacy, but really most of them are from legacy and they just created the same system with different rulers. It's 1000% true. See, Elon told us, he said, you're the media now. What Elon didn't forgot to remind y'all about is what I've been telling y'all for years. Media is the most effective devil in America. So if you're still a smaller devil behind a microphone, some mood lighting, and a Wi-Fi connection, you a devil too. It's just more decentralized devils. See, these people don't want to fight for actual change and balance and objective, solid journalism. That boy's told me he a journalist. You repeated what the New York Post said. That ain't no fucking journalism. That's meat gobbling at best. But what happened when Elon said that, now they want a little space for themselves. I want to curry to my base and say things that's not good for the health of America. That's what they want to do. They don't want to use the power of the media. The way that you could flip that most effective devil in America to the most effective, dominant intelligence in America is you become dominant with intelligence and really, really try to call balls and strikes. That's what you get when you come to the Maj Toure show. I don't give a fuck about these people and they cliques. I done burned down all of the stages. Can't none of them speak better than me. I get out this RV and comb my hair and put actual clothes on. They don't look better than me. They can't lift better than me. They don't shoot better than me because I'm an actual patriot. I'm actually here to serve y'all. I'm actually a public servant. I ran for city council and got my ass whipped to learn the process. I've fundraised for the Austin Metcalf and put energy towards that family's fundraising efforts. I've been honest about what's going on and seeing these certain things. I don't care about their cliques. These people, I'm telling y'all, I promise y'all. I've been in all of these rooms. These people are fucking lame. This is the power of, again, social media, though. They all click up. They all get hired by PR firms. The White House say, come through. Get the first binder, phase 1 of the Epstein client list. We ain't heard shit about that. We definitely ain't heard shit about phase 2. But they say that to make it look like they're fighting for you. But you cannot point to the job that any of these people do in the communities that they talk shit about. Rob runs around South Beach with his shirt off. Like a girl. Pussy. These people are lames, I'm telling y'all. Do not caucus with these people. Do not think that you got to hide your voice about the truth and balance and the Constitution. You don't have to do that. Don't compromise. Don't compromise your integrity for a spot. I was burnt down CPAC the last time I was there as a solo speaker. It was me, then Trump. Go look it up. It was me, then Trump. Then the next year, it was like, Maj, we want you back. We want you to kill it again in front of Trump. Right? And I said, no. Give me Shamika Michelle, Sonny Johnson, Adrian Norman, Juan Valdez, Angela Stanton King. Let me interview them about this new wave of conservatism. The limited government, black conservative. That's what America needs. When I could have got the stage in front of Trump again, I'm not saying this shit to sound cool. I'm saying it based on I want y'all to know that I be in them rooms whenever I feel like it. I don't want to be in them rooms. I want to serve y'all. We got our own island as solutionaries. Yeah, it might not be $100 million island, but we got integrity. We're going to keep pushing what the community, all communities need. They do. Bookworm says 82 folks in here. Let's get the likes up, y'all. Anthony says the most dangerous man is one who don't need a click to get the job done. I do my dirt all by my lonely. I go to the movies by myself if I need to. You might see me with my you don't even know who my thick lady is. You know what I'm saying? I might not even be here. I might be in space with them bitches from with Bezos yesterday. You never know. It doesn't matter. The point is the work got to get done. The work got to get done. And I'm telling y'all, pour into the people and organizations that are willing to call the bullshit. This shit right here, this bullshit. Let's read this next one. American as fuck. Carmelo Anthony's family has purchased a Cadillac Escalade worth $150,000. First of all, Cadillacs Escalades don't cost $150,000. That's number one. It's not true. Number two, okay? Next. I don't even know who this person is. Let me read it for y'all. Thug life. They love to call the blacks the thugs. Murder someone, raise $500,000, live it up and party down. Okay, now here, this is where the copy and paste come. Read this. This is going to sound just like the New York Post article. And if you need reference, it's on my page. Okay, on X. The Texas teen accused of fatally stabbing a high school football star to track meet allegedly. See what they do? Allegedly. They can't even stand on what they're saying. They still trying to protect themselves and get the clicks so they don't get sued. Allegedly lives in a $900,000 home with his family inside a luxurious gated community, despite requesting that a judge lower his $1 million bond because of financial difficulties, according to a report. Carmelo Anthony, 17, is holed up. That's literally came out the New York Post article, that phrase. Holed up with his family at the pricey home inside the gated community of Richwoods in Frisco, Texas, after he was released from jail on Monday on a reduced $250,000 bond for allegedly killing Austin Metcalf earlier this month. The home, where rent is estimated to be they have no facts, estimated to be at $3,500 a month, had a white Suburban, a black Acura, and a third sedan in the driveway on Tuesday, according to the outlet. That's the whole. He had three houses. He had three houses, and he just bought three cars. That's that energy. That's that energy right there. These people are liars, y'all. They're using you. They don't want to change the system. They don't want journalism to get back to a space of integrity. That's not what they want. I'm telling y'all, that's not what they want. What they want is to carve out a space for themselves in it, while still maintaining a certain level of devilishness to it. They jumped out there, and even the black so-called conservative, so-called black pundits, they jumped out there to say the most heinous shit, bro. The most heinous shit. I mean, I low key, like, it didn't hurt my feelings, but I low key felt bad. Like, damn, what about the black people that's leaving? They're like, these Democrats is on some silly shit. I don't want to be with them. And the natural response is to go, I'm gonna go Republican, because television say it's only Democrat, Republican, and it's not true. But I feel bad for the people that are trying to get out of that Democrat situation, and they still think that it's only, they don't know independent, they don't know Green Party, they don't know Libertarian. They think it's, I gotta go Republican. And then they walk into this and they go, shit, man, I might as well just vote for Kamala or AOC or Gavin Newsom in 2028. That's what happens. Because these people, like, come on. D Money said $3,500 a month for a mansion. I need to move to Frisco. 35, that's true, bro. Got the pool, got the gates. 3,500. That's a 2-bedroom in Philly. My point in saying this to y'all is, I want, because we got to turn this all into the solutions. We solutionaries, y'all. I want to turn this all the way into solutions for everybody, okay? This is what I want y'all to understand. I'm not attacking these people as humans. They still Americans. They on the right. They definitely not as insane as the extreme leftists that want to chop children's, privates off and things of that nature. They're not that far. But we are going to be honest about the fact that when it comes to this, they have the lily white conservative movement energy. If you guys don't know what the lily white conservatives were and are, Google it, grok it, whatever. They go out of their way to make sure that they talk. Oh, the black people need to get off the plantation. They want them to get off the so-called democratic plantation, but they're not doing the work to make inroads into those communities. Trump showed them the way. Trump don't struggle. Trump was getting pushed back from legacy media. Even legacy media and Bill Maher and them started to go, okay, wait a minute. This Trump dude seems to be kind of like at least trying, right? They don't do that. They want to complain about the black people in the Democrat Party, but don't want to caucus with those people or help those communities. And then when people like myself that do some of the work and is struggling to do this work, they don't want to even support them. These are the same people that have something negative to say about King Randall and the X Boys and the awesome work that he's doing down in Albany, Georgia, his hometown. These are the same people that have not donated to Austin Metcalf's family. If you scroll on my page, on Big Daddy 2 Ray's page, okay? If you scroll on my page, let's just do a little bit of scrolling on Maj's page. What Maj is gonna say, let's go back to what I got on here. Let's scroll up a bit before we start to wrap up. Let's look what happens on Maj's page. Guys, if you're not following me on X, follow me there at Maj2Ray999. This is us live. Let's see what Maj is saying. Boom. This is my repost. Not a race-based narrative, just in loving memory of this young man. And I don't know the full story. I don't know. Maybe him and his brother were the aggressors. I don't have the video footage. I don't care what happened. It's a tragedy that he's dead. This isn't complicated. The more evolved solutionaries that you all are, we don't go either or. We go and. So when I got to articulate how the left is crazy, that doesn't mean I don't articulate how the right is being crazy too. It's and. It's not either or. So this is what's on my page, Maj's page. Okay? I'm where Maj is quite telling that some people, he said white, have chose to show their ass on here. But at the end of the day, ain't no hate in my heart. I'm against the BS on both sides. This is what my page. This Nick Irvin. This is the funny part, right? These people, because Rob called me, oh, he one of them black conscious conservatives. All right, whatever. This right here, this post, this is the Reaper, Nick Irving. The person that has the most confirmed sniper kills of any military man in American history. That's the homie. He says, I'm not up to date on the tragedy involving two teens, but I live in my 3,000 square foot, $500,000 home since 2011. Crazy to think another black family could live in a $900,000 home, isn't it? Wait till everyone finds out that some of us know how to save and have land. See, this narrative is getting destroyed, and some of them bigots that hide behind false patriotism, they don't know how to deal with it because they never really wanted all Americans to really prosper. They wanted to complain about black people being on a Democratic plantation, not caucus with, work with, help those communities, and pull them out and work together. That's not what their grift is or was. They need them to stay there so they can complain about them and never be solutionary. You understand? That's the play. Next one. I appreciate you taking the time to give some clarity. It really is frustrating seeing all of the posts about the misuse of funds without any actual evidence. I've seen a reported cost of the house they supposedly purchased go from $800K to now $900K. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Now I want y'all to listen to this one. This is my guy, Smiley Gnome. That's my Bitcoin guy. He said, I've had the feeling that there was some deep state psyop involvement with this. Media is the deep state. They are the enemy of the people. As for the case itself, I'll do what I did with Rittenhouse. I'll reserve judgment until I see unredacted video. Then I'll leave it up to the jury to decide. But the way this is stirring the pot shows me all of the flags of deep state amplification. Reason is drowned out and sensationalism with lies is being spread for a reason. Why? Good question. Why would they want people focusing on this with such passion? Legitimate perspective. Legit. See, the solutionaries, we have to become more vocal. I need y'all to keep pushing this signal up because them big platforms, the Brandon Tatums, the insert whoever's, the goofballs, right? They in the algorithm because Elon's probably liked some of their shit. They reposted them. Whoop de whoop whoop whoop. They are safe because they're not going to challenge the status quo. You as solutionaries have to caucus. We have to work together to push the platform and the conversations that challenge people to be better. That is our job. The media, Elon was not lying when he said, we are the media now. He wasn't wrong about that. The danger of that is those people want to be the most effective devil in America. They don't want to use the power of media constructively to expose bullshit and limit government. That's not what they want to do. Meanwhile, tariffs in China, it's going back and forth. Trump's making some headway with most of the countries as it relates to tariffs. I was scared of that because I don't like tariffs as a long-term ideology. But I love how he's using it as a negotiation tactic. Okay? But we ain't talking about that. Nobody's talking about, remember when Cash Patel was on Sean Ryan's show? And he said, so if I was in charge of the FBI day one, half of that place would be a museum. Is it a museum? Have we gotten phase 2 of the Epstein client list? See, these are the things that we have to make sure that we're calling out these people so we can get them the fuck out of the way and highlight more people that are talking about serious things. And even if they're not talking, we're not talking, we got to do the work. Our work at BGM and the Solutionary Center for years and the Solutionary Lifestyle is literally dealing in, obviously, the Second Amendment and firearms basics, obviously. Stop the bleed, all of that, duh. But it deals in conflict resolution, de-escalation. These are the things that these young men needed. So when they call me a grifter, because I'm trying to raise money to buy our building so we can have these classes forever, and I am in a city that is extremely murderous. This shit ain't Frisco. My shit North Philly. High homicides. We trying to do this work. So they call me a grifter. Rob Smith says, oh, whatever it is you do, my track record been solid. Our work is cited in the Bruin decision. This ain't a pat on the back. This is an acknowledgement of hard work, and we got so much more work to do. They not following Trump's agenda. I was there at the White House when Trump said, African Americans built this nation. I was there. I was in the White House. She wasn't trying to get all of the photo ops. I wanted to watch and see. See, I am somewhat versed in long distance shooting. I might have to sit and wait on that target for a long time. I might have to be behind glass, meaning sitting and looking behind that scope for a very long time before I get to press that trigger. When the target comes from behind cover and concealment. And this logic applies to most things. I want to say, hey, wait, it might be a psyop, guys. Media, remember? But they want to rush to be first and be wrong. And meanwhile, at the same time, be very, very disrespectful to other Americans, furthering the divide that legacy media from the left was doing for however long, but they don't care because they got their share of the media slice. They got their Elon bucks, which is not that much money anymore. Now they fighting harder to be more adversarial and race-based and edgy, because now the Elon bucks thing came down. Now they got to be more sensational to fight for the Elon bucks. And in the meantime, they say more and more things that divides more and more America. Elon was right. They are the media now. And if we're not careful, we'll have a decentralized group of more effective devils in America. Solutionaries, we need your help. That's it. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. I wish I could say I had $100 million for y'all. I wish I could say it and have solutionary centers all around the country. I don't. But I'm working on it, and I need your help. Guys, listen, I'm going to ask everybody to do something amazing. We having a solid, this is probably the most viewed stream that I've had since I've been doing this, and I'm new to YouTube. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If on it, all of the other platforms that you're not watching this on, if you're watching it on X, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, so, hit the X channel, Maj2Ray999. Okay, we just got our 1,000th video about this up posted today. I'm gonna continue to keep giving y'all honest, objective, straightforward talk, but I need y'all support. I do. Okay? Why I'm saying this to y'all is givesendgo.com/solutionary is the page. I'm going to ask everybody to do something for me. Asking everybody. I have been monetizing me getting cussed out and called a nigger and this, like, if you watching on Facebook, just scroll. I figured out the way. Every time y'all call me a nigger for being objective, somebody donate. Okay? So we need the funds. We're not going to pretend. We're not. To buy this building. Okay? We need 994 more $100 donors. 900 and we buy the building. That's it. And I can be done with fundraising. Fundraising is difficult. So I'm going to ask you all to go to givesendgo.com/solutionary. If you're watching this on X, it's my pinned post. It's up there. It's up there. I want to continue. I want to do this every single day. But I got to do this, do the classes, do the curriculums, my team build the website, all of this other stuff, make the content research so I don't look like a fool when I'm talking about something. So y'all know it can be still verify me, but it's at least somewhat trusted, right? We do this and continue to make the content and add to the production value. I'm doing this from Trapped in the RV fundraising. Okay? We need 994 more donors at the $100 level. What do you get? Every donor over $100, you're going to get a lifetime membership to the Solutionary University. That's all of the classes, the ones that exist on there now and the ones that are coming forever. Meal plans, macros, workout routines, shooting drills. You get a link, your own personalized link to sell the merch for free. Okay? 15% commission. You get all of that because I want to give more to you guys that support our work. This shit is hard, man. And the people that got all of them followers, a lot of them they paid for. A lot of them have PR firms that help them, like Influenceable. A lot of them people work for Influenceable. It's not me making it up. Google it yourself. Okay? We are on island and we need you guys' help. So I'm going to ask everybody that's watching this, if you can afford to give at the $100 level, I'm going to sit right here on one of these other phones and I'm going to email you directly access to all of this, every donor over $100. Is that link right there on the screen? And if you're watching on X, it's my pinned post and there's a video talking about our work. Okay? My point, guys, is we need your support. Every donor over $100, and I'm doing 100 to count down at chunks at a time, you get access. I'm going to sit here and email you the access to everything I just said. Copy and paste. It's me, not a bot. I'm going to send it right to you. Okay? If you can't donate at the $100 level, just give whatever you can. If there's 940 people in here right now, right? Imagine if all 900, let's say if 900 people gave $100. You understand? Then we in the community. Then we this. Then we helping. Then we get more stuff. Then I can create more content. Then I can interview better. Okay? I interviewed Jacob from Gibson Go because I knew he was a solid man. I did that close to a year ago, before all of this foolishness started. And this is when I didn't agree with Derek Chauvin, but I respected that he had him on that platform to fundraise for his legal defense. Okay? To make more content, to buy the building, to keep the classes going, I need your support. givesendgo.com/solutionary. And lastly, share the space all over the place, guys. Quote post. If you're watching on X, when I save this right now as I end, quote post, yo, this was alive. I thought it was dope. Whatever you want to say, just quote post it to your following. That's free 99. Cost you nothing. $0. And lastly, solutionaries. Stay in this fight. Be objective. Be honest. The devil is working fucking overtime. And I find myself recognizing and saying God and devil a lot more lately. Not maybe because I'm in solitude or I'm a little separated from my everyday, but I'm seeing it. And it's not just on the left. The devil will use anything that it can to destroy harmony and unity, guys. Please stay in this fight. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel. Thank you all for tapping into the Maj 2 Ray Show. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Donate at the $100 level. Donate whatever you can. Share the space all over the place. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Be solutionary.